Have you ever wondered how a nation of ordinary people, shopkeepers, teachers, parents can come to support a war? How individuals who value kindness and condemn personal violence can cheer for campaigns that bring about immense destruction from afar? This isn't a question of good versus evil, but of psychology. The human mind contains mechanisms, ancient and powerful, that can be activated under specific conditions. It's a chilling transformation, where the individual conscience is submerged into a collective will. We believe we are immune, that our moral compass is fixed. But history shows us that the line between peacekeeper and aggressor is terrifyingly thin. It's not a monstrous transformation, but a subtle, psychological shift. A series of small steps, each one seemingly logical, that leads a society to embrace what its members would individually abhor. What are these psychological triggers? How does the mind redraw its moral boundaries to allow for mass violence? We are about to descend into the architecture of the human psyche, to understand the invisible forces that turn it against them, and make the unthinkable not only possible, but justifiable. Within every placid society, a dormant switch awaits. It is not a switch of malice, but of morality, wired to the primal circuits of survival and belonging. An ordinary person, who recoils from the thought of harming another, can be convinced to endorse immense destruction. This transformation begins not with a roar, but a whisper, a news report, a leader's solemn address, a perceived threat to one's way of life. The intricate tapestry of individual ethics, woven over a lifetime, is swiftly unraveled. It is replaced by a simpler, starker pattern: us versus them. Authority provides the justification, and fear provides the fuel. The complex moral calculus of daily life collapses into a single, binary question, and the answer, once unthinkable, suddenly feels not only possible, but necessary for survival. The lone voice of conscience is easily drowned out by the roar of the crowd. This is the principle of psychological fusion, where individual identity dissolves into a larger, more powerful collective. In the heart of a rally, amidst a sea of chanting faces and waving banners, personal responsibility evaporates. Anonymity becomes a shield. The group develops its own mind, its own momentum, driven by a shared, intensified emotion. To stand apart is to be alone, to be suspect. The pressure to conform is immense, a gravitational pull toward consensus. A person who would never shout an insult alone feels empowered to scream it in unison with thousands. The crowd offers a sense of belonging and righteousness, a potent cocktail that silences doubt and amplifies certainty into a deafening echo. Before a trigger can be pulled or a bomb can be dropped, a more insidious weapon must be deployed: the erasure of the human face. Through the relentless machinery of propaganda, the enemy is systematically stripped of their humanity. They are no longer fathers, artists, or farmers. They become vermin, monsters, a disease to be cleansed. Caricatures and posters and venomous words on the radio reduce complex individuals to a single, hateful symbol. This act of psychological alchemy is essential. It transforms the act of destruction from a moral transgression into a righteous duty, a form of purification. By rendering the other as subhuman, it allows ordinary people to sanction actions they would otherwise find abhorrent, creating a moral buffer against the grim reality of their support. Violence becomes more palatable the farther away it is. This is the cold comfort of distance, both physical and psychological. A pilot flying at 30,000 feet does not see faces, only targets. A drone operator in a sterile, air-conditioned room thousands of miles away sees a pixelated feed, a video game with real-world consequences they are insulated from. Even for the citizen at home, war is an abstraction. A headline, a map on a screen, a political debate. The visceral reality of the impact is sanitized, filtered through layers of technology and media. This detachment is not accidental. It is a fundamental component of modern conflict, allowing for a clean conscience by creating a profound disconnect between the sterile action and its devastating, tangible result. All fevers eventually break. When the flags are furled and the anthems fade, the collective dream of war dissipates, leaving the individual to face the dawn alone. This is the moment of waking, when the moral anesthesia wears off and the conscience returns. The enemy is rehumanized, often through a simple, devastating discovery. A photograph of a family, a letter to a loved one, a child's worn shoe in the rubble. The abstract justifications of the conflict crumble against the weight of this tangible humanity. For the soldier and the citizen alike, this is when the true reckoning begins. The external war may be over, but an internal one commences, a struggle to reconcile the person they were with the actions they supported, a long, quiet battle in the ruins of their own certainty.